Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex, and in this video, we go over the hottest stocks in the hottest sectors. Some of those sectors include crypto, AI and data center, rare earths, gold and silver, infrastructure, and some fintech plays. And we'll go over the charts, we'll see how they're setting up, and see which themes are worth buying and which themes I would avoid. If that's something you're into, stick around. All right, so welcome to the midweek thematic update. And as you can see here, these are the 5 themes that I've identified for this week's video. So I did something a little bit different. Is I reset my filter to where I'm finding these stocks to last Wednesday for the Fed day, because I think that was another schism event. But it was interesting because basically all the same themes pretty much showed up. I mean, it's a little hard because there's earnings right now, so there's a lot of big movers, but you could still kind of filter through that and identify these themes. And as you can see here, I kind of labeled them. I numbered them 1 to 5. Yeah, AI data centers, rare earths like gold miners, crypto stuff, fintech, and some infrastructure, robotics and automation and that sort of a thing. So yeah, as you can see on the right side, we got the stocks associated with those. I don't think I'm going to have enough time in this video to go over every stock, but you guys could just check them out on your own from this list. But I'm going to pick about 1 or 2 stocks in each group, and then kind of talk about that stock and also go over the group and what I think is setting up, going forward. So yeah, with that, let's get into the charts. All right, so the first theme I want to talk about today is the AI data center theme. It's picked up a lot of steam here, and what you're looking at is the ticker symbol APLD. And what these guys do is they have contracts with CoreWeave, which is this stock. They basically, it's like GPUs as a service. So they buy GPUs from NVIDIA. And they do data centers, and yeah, they just had a big contract on their earnings, and it's off to the races. It's up, ever since that day. Let's see, 43%. So it's one of the top performing stocks. It's in the portfolio. We got some long-term leaps on it. I think we have the $7 leaps, and then we sold the front month $18 calls on this thing. I mean, altogether, if we take a look at this using a Wyckoff lens, it looks very similar to our LEU call. For those of you who haven't seen that video, we made a call on LEU, back, at $65 down here. And APLD looks pretty similar, I mean, it had this peak right here, and it kind of went sideways for, I don't know, 2 years or something like that. And it's coming back here, and it just tested this low. And then we have a catalyst. So, it's a fast moving stock, a lot of volume to break out of that range, and it back tested that range, and now it's making this new run. So, we're thinking it can pull another LEU. Looks very similar. I'd be on the lookout for that. It's a data center play. A lot of these data centers and AI stocks are, going bananas right now. I can name a few, but I want to keep this video kind of short and only talk about 2 stocks, because I've had some comments, from some of my viewers that, hey, just talk about 2 stocks instead of like every single one in the theme, to, kind of go into the nitty gritty with it. So the other stock I wanted to show you guys, I think a lot of people are in this stock, but it's STRL. It's another AI play, but essentially, I mean, this thing broke out of its IPO base. If we draw this thing right here, this is the IPO breakout, right? Broke out, I think last year, came back in, undercut the lows of the IPO again, built this nice little, backup action is what we call it in Wyckoff, and gapped up, and it just had earnings, and it's, showing a lot of strength. And the thing that I like about it is the volume. It's moved up a lot today, but it's even on less volume than here. So it looks like everybody who wanted to sell this thing over this IPO has kind of sold. They sold it all right here, and they sold more of it right here. And yeah, this was the market's kind of test of that level, because essentially you can go into these stocks and you can say, okay, Anytime there's a big volume spike, essentially everybody's selling. I mean, there's people buying, but it's when the supply comes in. That's what we like to say in Wyckoff. And you can just look at it and say, okay, that's where the supply is coming in, right? So they got out here, and then they built this backup action right here, and so that sets up the stock because basically, that basically says that everybody who wanted to sell is out, and then as you can see on this gap up, normally on a gap up like this with a big move like this, you would see the volume spike again if it's not gonna keep going. And then you monitor that amount of volume. And since that volume came in and then it basically didn't go down at all, and now has good earnings. I mean, this thing could be a big leader. It's a $22 billion market cap. It's an expensive stock fundamentally, but if it's breaking out to new highs and it's on not that much volume, strong stock, and that basically tells us that the AI data center theme is alive and well. And that we should be on the lookout for those sorts of stocks. So yeah, I mean, and Palantir is one of those stocks. Like, there's all sorts of these AI plays and in the market, but those are two that I just wanted to show you, like the data center and then ALAB. Okay, so moving onwards to rare earths. I think the biggest kind of group move that we're seeing right now is in the gold miners. Oh, let me show you this one, because this one's actually has earnings. We've had a position in the gold miners for a while now, and they've just kind of been going sideways for 2 months. But it's interesting because we just had this Fed announcement, and then that employment report, which was really kind of the schism event in the market, that I've adjusted my anchored VWAP, and I've adjusted where I'm finding the new set of leaders. But essentially, I think if the economy's starting to go down here, interest rates are going to start going down, and you can kind of see it in the TLT. It has been moving, but today it had a big move. But I think interest rates are going to come down, and that's going to be good for gold. So stocks and gold and silver actually. So stocks like here's silver and here's gold, and we were looking at it at the major market update. But some of the stocks associated with that is like, of course, CDE. This had a big earnings blowout here, and it's releasing earnings today, so this thing could fade. But I mean, it just looks fantastic. If we go to the weekly chart, this giant sort of base that it's been in for many, many years. Okay, and these guys are just starting. There's a lot of volume coming in. Everybody's sold here, and it's just going. If it breaks out of this kind of, if I showed you the anchored VWAPs from the IPO, there's a giant anchored VWAP right here. That if it gets above this thing, it's just a new regime for gold and gold miners in particular. Because basically these things are very tied to inflation, right? If the inflation stays low and oil prices stay low and gold is high, then these miners do really well. But if inflation's kind of running hot, then the gold miners don't do so well, because even if the gold price is going up, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I'm watching this one. Another one, this is more of a gold miner, but KGC has been breaking out. This has been a really nice one. So yeah, I mean, this is just the strongest one, KGC. Gold miners are making a big move, and yeah, I mean, it's been consolidating for a couple months, and it's breaking out. Another one I'm watching is AG. This is a silver miner. Silver miners are more explosive than the gold miners, so it's nice to see KGC moving like that, and Newmont is moving. But yeah, the one I would watch out for today, I mean, it's releasing earnings, so we'll see what happens like any minute now. So but yeah, that would be the gold miners, and I mean, they're just about to break out of these ranges, so it could really work. And then the third theme is crypto. And last week I did this video and I said, okay, the cryptos were the #1 theme, and they kind of pulled back a lot. Okay, so of course they're gonna bounce, and we're starting to see it. BTBT, it's up like what, 30%. This is an Ethereum staking company. I'm really bullish on Ethereum staking companies. This has a nice range that we've identified here, and it broke out of this tiny little area. And yeah, I mean, easily, I think this thing can get to like $5. I think it's the cheaper alternative to BMNR, which is another Ethereum treasury company. BMNR is right here. It's like, this is the one that everybody's in. It's got Stanley Druckenmiller. It's got Tom Lee. This is the big dog. So yeah, we're in this as well. And yeah, they had that gap down on that offering. I think on this day here, we added a little bit more to it. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you guys want to check out what we're doing in the channel account, I link a video, or sorry, I link a website in the description, and it tracks every trade, so you guys can go ahead and check out what we're doing. It doesn't track the options positions, but it does track the stock. So if you guys want to check out what we're doing in that account, feel free to click that link below. And if you like the content so far, feel free to hit that like button. Thanks. Anyways, so let's continue. So, and there's a lot of other stocks like, IREN. We were talking about that last week, how it had this nice little pullback. This was the smartest or the strongest stock. And it's, bouncing just like we thought. It's up 25%. It looks good. It's breaking out of this range here. It back tested that range. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't get any better than that. So IREN looks great. Yeah, so that's crypto, Ethereum staking companies. That's kind of where I'd be. The MSTRs, they're not really, they're not really bouncing that hard, and I think people are going to kind of shift over to Ethereum here, or at least that's what I'm seeing after this schism event. So the next theme is FinTech, which I guess you could just say, is related to interest rates. So the stock I want to bring up is RKT. So this is, and these moving averages are about to cross here. So this is not really in a viable position here, but if it kind of pulls back and tests, this range right here would be the spot, But RKT just bought Redfin. This is a mortgage company. I mean, mortgages have been the worst they've ever been for a while now, and so I mean, this stock went as low as where was it? $6. So it's up 170% from 2022 lows. But once mortgages start going down, there's a case that people are going to have more mortgages, right? So it's pretty simple. Interest rates go down, people have more mortgages. So that's RKT. There's another stock. This is the same thing. Oh, not that one. But COOP, I mean, this thing has just been going parabolic, This is really nice stock, okay? It's not really, I mean, I guess you could have said it's not viable anywhere along this uptrend, but it just keeps going up. So hard to say on this one, looking like it's wanting to go parabolic here. They do, I think, like bigger loans, like for, buildings and stuff like that. But, insurance is alive and well. Mortgages and lending is alive and well. So that's, I think, going to be another big theme once the mortgage rates start coming down. You can also look at these like buy now, pay later stocks like Affirm and Upstart. Ooh, well, there goes Upstart. I guess don't go there. But like Lemonade is a insurance company. And yeah, I mean, it's bouncing right off the quarterly moving average, looking really nice. Big volume, big candle on earnings, and it followed through. So that's everything you want to see. So that's not a bearish, earnings candle. So that's FinTech tied to interest rates going down. Should be a nice catalyst for these stocks. But of course, once they start to cut rates in September, that means the economy's not doing so well. And we were listening to some of these Fed guys talking, and they're saying, yeah, the data's coming in that the jobs market's getting really weak, and people are firing people for AI now. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then the last theme is infrastructure, like robotics and automation and that sort of thing. So I mean, we were talking about JOBY for a long time. This thing had a nice little high tight flag, and it's failing. This is a very low volume dump today, so I think this actually can go a lot lower, and this looks kind of done. The other stocks that are kind of moving, as I was looking at this drone stock, RCAT. I mean, this thing looks like in a decent position. This had a little head and shoulders top here, and it kind of fell out, and it's back here. So, I mean, it's in a viable spot, but it's this volume came in, sellers came in on this candle, and it gapped into it. So, it's a little sketchy here. Another stock, I mean, we all know this Axon. This is, they do tasers and stuff like that. This is just one of these parabolic stocks. So, I mean, you could go there, but it's just extended, and it's already $60 billion. So, yeah, and lastly, I just wanted to talk about STRL, Sterling Infrastructure. This is another data center kind of a play. So there's a lot of ways to play the robotics, or the infrastructure kind of a theme here. A lot of these things have already moved a lot. So, you want to wait for a pullback. That's why I put it as fifth. It's because some of these stocks in this group, like the Axons and the JOBYs and the RCATs, they don't look as good and as viable as some of the other ones, like say the gold miners or maybe some of these data center plays. So, or like the data center, like something like DigitalOcean, this AI stock is like, this is like in a perfect position right here, because it's at the bottom of a range. It just had a catalyst and it's getting re-rated, and it could break out of this range and it can go back up to 140. You know what I mean? So there's some of these AI stocks that are really well versus, the infrastructure stocks. They're a little, just the charts aren't as conducive for fresh buys. So yeah, with that, that's all 5 themes. I don't want to make this video too long, but I hope you guys got some value out of it. You guys can check it out. If you guys are curious about my thoughts about anything you guys are checking out, or if you think I missed something, hey, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.